Forrest Shaw is here with us. He's going to be at Side Splitters this weekend. Take a look at that.
I wanted to see. Holy cow!
Yeah, right.
Is that like an angle thing? Or
Yeah.
is
Well, no. I was sitting in my living room yesterday at about 5 p.m., maybe 4 p.m., and my Ring doorbell went off at the front door, and I had just gotten a package delivered a little bit earlier. So I turned on the doorbell to see what it was, and I saw those triple D's walking towards. So my Amazon driver was wearing nothing but a tube top and her blue Amazon vest, and she had tremendous breast. And I took the picture and put it up on the thing, and I was amazed by it. I'm not complaining about it. I thought she was wonderful.
Yeah, I guess she doesn't know about OnlyFans. I don't know why.
Maybe she does.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
I like that she has the vest on too.
Yeah. Got to keep her professional. You don't have any kids, do you?
I've never been married.
No.
Kids. Yeah.
I have a 12-year-old daughter, and the thought of OnlyFans makes me want to vomit, But also, I'm watching these.
He also checks out every girl's OnlyFans and has subscribed to a couple.
Yes, and the amount of money, like this girl that I follow, that Galvin turned me on to, by the way, is currently dating Young Gravy.
Yes,
is that his name? Young Gravy. And
I know who that is.
Yeah, and she's like 20-some years old. She's driving a $150,000 Mercedes. Yeah. She's flying private. She's
just bought her mom a Cadillac.
Yeah. I'm like, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe you got to do what you got to do.
She does full on stuff.
Oh yeah,
everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
If I could do it, I would do it.
2
seconds. Yeah.
If I said to you, Forrest Shaw, famous comedian, we are going to feature you in a solo masturbatory activity, but it would only be shown in Europe. Would you do it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I was nodding my head when you just said Forrest Shaw. I'm like,
you didn't need to put parameters.
Had you at Forrest?
Just tell me what you need me to do to make that amount of money. I'll do it. I have no issues.
We were talking about the movie Vacation. Does anybody remember European Vacation?
Sure.
European Vacation, they accidentally, or they stole Clark's video camera.
Right.
And it's one of the subtle jokes that you don't really understand when you're a kid, but they steal Clark's video camera, and he had been messing around with his wife on the video. And when they go to a different country, there's a billboard of them on the billboard that they were like made a porno movie. And so that was the thing. If I'm going to be the sexiest fat guy in Hungary, I'll take it. It doesn't have any bearing on what I do here.
Yeah, I have no issue. I will sell out in a minute for anything.
Yeah.
Any ad you want me to do?
Yep.
Yeah. Cigarettes for kids. I don't care. Whatever you want me to do. You want to give me? I am ready to do it. I'm getting too old to just care about that stuff. So.
It is one of the powerful things to be able to say no. Like, because I do ads for the show, and sometimes there's products that I can't wait to say no to. Like, there's currently one that I used to endorse that I don't endorse anymore. And I hope to God one day they come back to me for something so I could just go, no, absolutely not. I can't let things go either. So I have lingering anger.
I'm a gambling addict, so it's the best of the addictions.
Welcome to the team.
You are too.
I don't.
He's a winner, though. He's a gambling addict, but he's a winner.
People always say that. People say this is what people tell me when I tell them I'm a gambling addict is you're not good at gambling, and I'm like, that is not.
No, that's
is
not
an
how it
alcoholic not good at drinking? I mean,
kinda.
You know who's the best at taking heroin? Heroin addicts. They're the best. So I know how to gamble well. I just gamble to forever. I just don't stop.
See, that's a big difference. We always talk about that. I like to win. My wife likes to gamble. So if I go in and I sit down with $1,000 and I get up $3,000, I walk away in 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Yeah, my wife wants to continue to play and stuff. Also, I'm not selling body parts or doing anything like that. I'm never spending more than I can.
If you were married to my wife and I was married to your wife, we'd be poor,
right?
And you guys would be rich,
right? Yeah.
That's that. I mean, that's the. I don't have a drinking problem, I've abused alcohol in my life, but I don't have a drink. Like I know when to stop. You know.
Right.
Anyways, what I was gonna say is, I would, even as a gambling addict, I would be the face of DraftKings if you need me to. Like, hey guys, you can do. I mean, don't do what I do, but you could. Here's
how bad did it get gambling wise before you were like, I can't do this anymore?
I mean, my life was threatened.
Really?
I lost a lot of money. I lost pretty much everything I had. Then I stopped gambling, and then I was like, you know what? I should go back and see if I'm if I'm good at it. She said, and then lost it all again. Then came back. So
Were you doing it online, or like was this through bookies?
this is like the online stuff's like a new animal
Right,
that I
right.
think is insane. You know, it's
wild.
Yeah,
It's a wild west.
I'm old. I'm an old school guy. So I had a bookie that I had the bookie guy where you call up
Yeah, yeah.
and this is how bad it was. Just, I would call up my bookie and because I would be losing so much money, sometimes my bookie would try to convince me not to bet.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be
Yeah,
like, hey, you
You're
lost
in
a
bed,
lot
you're
of
already
money
in the
this
hole,
week.
yeah.
And I was like, give me the line. I would call him sometimes and he would forget there were games. Like on MLK Day, they have early basketball games like
Right.
at noon, and I would just wake him up. He'd be like, why are you calling me up? There's basketball games at noon. Let's wake up. Also, I need
You're not a
the
very good bookie.
Little League World Series. Get me some odds on that while we're at it. And it's a psycho.
Yeah, that's the thing now with the online and with the apps and stuff and everything. You can bet on ping pong and all kind of crazy stuff. It's wild.
Tennis.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'd made it into the modern era of gambling. So,
Right.
And it's always tennis where like I wake up in the morning. I had won money last night, and I want to be in the action. That's the whole thing. Is you want to be in the action, right? And so then there's like a tennis match in Bulgaria that I have no clue who these people are, but I'm just like, I mean, that guy's name looks good. He's there, so I'm just putting money on a tennis match, and then you can't even watch it. You're just on some weird website that's probably downloading a virus on your and you're just refreshing. It's great.
Do you know I did that with the Kentucky Derby? He before Hard Rock had its app here for us to bet on, there was another one,
Twin Spires,
where they just do horse races. So Galvin turned me on to it, and I put money in it for the Kentucky Derby, and then I won on the Kentucky Derby. So I had a couple $100 in there, and I forgot about it. And then I went back to it, and I went, oh, yeah, I have money in here. And I'm like, well, let me just look around. Let me see. And I did the same thing. I was betting. They have horse racing in Saudi Arabia at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you could just bet on. I have no idea who they are or what's going on, and you can watch it right there on the phone. And next thing you know, I got up to $1,000, and I was like, all right, I'm done. Pull my money out. Yeah.
Twin Spires. I don't even.
Twin Spires.
I didn't heard
just
of that
horse
one,
racing.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't a big horse. I think I've gambled on almost everything. I have gambled on horse racing, but it wasn't like a thing. I would go to the track if I needed to bet on something, and I literally didn't know anything. I would just walk up in line and be like, hey, what did the last guy bet? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, just give me what the last guy got. And they're like, all right, here's some money. Just throw that in the garbage can.
Well, you were really betting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not great. And I do shows in Vegas all the time. So
right. That I don't understand. Like we always hear stories that they pay you in chips and stuff, so because they want you to spend it in the casino.
But maybe back in the day. Now they give it. Thankfully, they send the money like direct deposit a week later.
Yeah.
Post date the check. Whatever. Just
that may have been whatever they said. You want chips or cocaine?
Yeah. No. Thank goodness they don't do that because that would be that'd be bad. Because even when you get to the airport, there's slot machines.
Oh yeah.
In Vegas. Yeah. Like who's? I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. I mean, it's like I've seen a person walk off a plane and just start playing slots before.
Yes.
I'm like,
oh, I've seen that.
All right, guy. Like, I'm bad, but that's like.
But it's also the last ditch effort. The people that lose, and then they're like, one last chance before we get back on the plane and have to go back to Iowa, and they try and win.
Yeah. Because I think it was it like Ocean's 13, where they
where they
mess with
set
that
it
guy
up,
the whole time, and then Brad Pitt lives the coin there. They've rigged the machine,
right?
Then he wins, and I think that increased the amount of gambling. And they're like, well, it could happen if this whole team of con men rig a machine. Yeah.
Forrest Shaw, before comedy, a marine biologist.
Yeah.
How do you make the transition? Did you always want to do comedy, or did you find yourself to be the funny marine biologist?
I've always was obsessed with stand-up comedy.
Right.
And I had my mom had a friend, married couple that lived up the coast. And I grew up in Miami, and so they lived in Melbourne. And so he owned a video store, and I would just sit there. They would go out to the beach, and the beach was like a long walk. So then, instead of watching whatever wholesome entertainment I was supposed to be watching, I put in like Eddie Murphy, or Gary Shandling I really liked, and George. And I would just watch all this stuff. And I was like, so I was obsessed at a young age. Like, this is cool. Like, I want to do this, but I never did. And then,
by the way, I think we're probably about the same age. We all had the same tape when we were younger. Eddie Murphy, George Carlin, and Gary Shandling. It was like that one tape that had all those stand-up that made the rounds.
And then I started doing it. You know what it was? My grandfather passed away, and he was one of these guys, when I was looking at photos of him, that did everything in his life.
Yeah.
They did fun stuff. They would go like skiing, but then he'd wear like a gorilla costume and go like just like living life. And so I didn't want to like regret anything, like say, oh, I should have done this, that, or whatever. So I did an open mic at an older age.
While you're already working as a marine biologist?
Yeah. And then I started, at the beginning, you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Super inconsistent. But then I figured out I'm not married, I don't have kids, so I could take the hit,
Yeah.
Because you don't come into stand-up comedy wealthy. You're just like, all right, I'm going to earn.
But you had to be making good money as a marine biologist.
Good. I was doing like 6 figures because I'd worked so long that I got into like a managerial position of this.
What were you working?
I grew up in Miami, and so I worked in Miami-Dade County, and I did it was like an environmental protection kind of stuff. So I worked with manatees.
Yeah.
Manatee protection was a big thing. Like water quality, counting seagrass, and doing coral reef like monitoring. So when they were like borrowing sand to put on a beach, like, eroded, you weren't.
No wonder why you were like, I got to get out of this.
Yeah, it was a great job, but I really enjoyed it. But it also was, the longer you stay at a job, the more you get. I wasn't on the boats anymore. I was just there, like, crunching numbers on a spreadsheet for like grant proposals, and I was like, this isn't fun.
This is not what I.
Yeah.
I would imagine most people wanted to work at SeaWorld when they first signed up for that package.
Yeah, you know what it is? Everybody that I meet is like, oh, I wanted to be a marine biologist. And I was like, oh, and then you found out you had to take chemistry.
Yeah.
I think people think you're just going to pet animals. I would say 50% of the strippers I met wanted to be a marine biologist.
Yeah.
That's because I love animals. And it's like, yeah, okay, well, sure. But
that's funny.
But
how do you? How long until you like start taking off, making it where you feel like you're confidently doing well as a comedian?
It was about 7. I quit my day job, as I say, about 7 years into it, where I was like, okay, I can make a living. It's not gonna be a great living, like I said, but I can feed myself.
Is the idea that if you quit, you can concentrate just on comedy and make it better, or you're like, I got to start somewhere?
Honestly, my idea was I don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. anymore. And that was just like, oh, I can be my own boss. In my head, I was like, I'm going to be my own boss now. I'm going to wake up, I'm going to write, and then I'm going to book. And then I was just like slept in. I can start drinking early. Okay, cool. Or gambling, whatever. Yeah, gambling. But no, it was, I just found my resignation letter. So it was like October of 2010 was when. And it is the most disrespectful thing I've ever. I'm trying to be funny,
right?
But I'm also, it's like on file somewhere because I work for the county government, and I'm just like, and it's just like, see you later. I'm going to tell jokes as I lie in bed, thinking of all the good I could have been doing. I'm going to figure out how to pay my cell phone bill. It's just this ridiculous letter that I was like, but they were actually very supportive of me there. I think they thought it was cool. So, but
anybody that's gonna go take a jump and chase their dreams, I admire that.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
I had a boss. I wouldn't say boss, program director who worked at the radio station, who worked here for like 20 years, and then one day just decided he wanted to go see Europe and see the world, and just packed up his family, and they all just left, and they just quit. I'm like, that's ballsy.
With the family,
yeah, taking the kids out of school, homeschooling the kids. Nothing's better for the kids growing up than to see the world and learn it. But after a while, you got to go, hey, neither one of us have worked for a little bit.
Yeah,
it's going to be a problem.
I also think that. Look, I just come from a place of being single with my family. There's got to be a point a week into it. He was like, oh, yeah, this was a mistake.
Yeah.
I got to school these kids.
Yeah. I didn't sign up for this whatsoever.
Watch YouTube, kids. We're not doing any more homeschooling.
Yeah. Although I think about it now, both my kids are pretty stupid. So I feel like I can keep up with what they've learned already. You know what I mean?
Public school?
No. Yeah. I picked up my daughter yesterday, 12 years old, and on the way home, and I go, all right, what did you learn today in school? And she's like, nothing. I go, no. I go, seriously, tell me one thing you learned. And she's like, I don't know. I go, Juliana, you were there for 8 goddamn hours. Just say one thing that you learned, one thing. And she's like, I go, what about history? Did you do something to history? And she goes, oh yeah, my history teacher said he listened to you on the radio. I was like, that's the takeaway. That's what you got. I was like,
so you learned.
I'll take it.
Shout out
Stupid
history
kid.
teacher. Yeah, doing a great job. Keep it up. Keep up the good work.
How do you hook up with Jim Jeffries with that show?
I met him years ago, just randomly at a club I think it was Miami. I just worked with him. I was just put on the show. And then again, randomly, I would say over the next 8 weeks, I just coincidentally worked with him like 6 more times.
Oh,
it was just like, I think he thought I was maybe like stalking him.
Yeah.
But he wasn't, he was doing well. Like he was filling the clubs, but he hadn't broken yet. And then I think it's just like, to me, now that, once I started headlining and whoever I travel with, I just want it to be like a good hang.
Right,
I mean, it's not
right.
annoying and stuff. So I think that was kind of it. He was like, well, I like this guy, whatever. And he started to kind of break and get big. And he was just like, all right, I'm going to use you when I'm in the East Coast. And when I went to LA, he'd let me stay with him. And so, yeah, we just became friends that way. And then I tour around with him. And then when he got the show, I had never written anything before. So I kind of came in entry level, like in the digital department, was just writing jokes and copies. But you know what's funny? Like, I'm sure you guys get only nice comments on the show, right?
That's it.
So I was in the digital department and I had to like look at Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, and I would look at the comments, and they let me start responding to all the bad comments.
Oh,
but
good.
I did it in a way that, so if we got a DM where someone said, you stink, this, that, I would just say, hey, thank you for agreeing to join the Jim Jeffries fan club, blah, 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 this whole long thing. A balloon was coming, this. And then I would start to turn people that way. If you just start to, some people get even more upset, which was just fun to me. And they started reading all this stuff that I was doing in the writer's room. The writers and stuff. This guy's like, that was kind of the idea, was like, get there, try and be funny. And then eventually you can write in the show. So that was like an amazing experience.